The ascension of the powerful Roman Empire was not achieved without the subjugation of other kingdoms, including the renowned civilization of Greece. Through this video, we explore the series of events that enabled Rome to triumph over the Greeks and ultimately establish dominance over them. We will discover the transformation of power in the ancient world. This documentary is intertwined with aspiration, strategic prowess, perseverance, and an unwavering pursuit of supremacy. Rome's conquest of Greece was a gradual process that occurred over several centuries. The First Macedonian War, 214 to 205 BCE. The First Macedonian War began in 214 BCE when the Greek city-state of Athens sought Roman assistance against the expansionist ambitions of Philip V, the king of Macedon. Philip V had already made significant territorial gains in Greece, causing alarm among the other city-states. Eager to expand its influence beyond the Italian peninsula, Rome saw an opportunity to intervene and assert its power in the region. Rome entered the war with a well-disciplined and professional army. Their legions were organized into maniples, a flexible formation that allowed for adaptability on the battlefield. This structure was crucial in countering the Macedonian phalanx, a formidable force characterized by tightly packed soldiers armed with long spears. Rome's military tactics relied on mobility and flexibility. They utilized cavalry and light infantry to disrupt the enemy's formations, while their heavy infantry engaged in decisive confrontations. Rome exploited weaknesses and gaps in the enemy's defenses by maneuvering around the flanks and rear of the Macedonian phalanx. This approach proved successful in several battles, including the Battle of Cynoscephalae in 197 BCE, where Rome achieved a resounding victory. Rome's victory in the First Macedonian War can be attributed to its military tactics, resourcefulness, and sheer determination. The war witnessed a series of battles, with Rome gradually gaining the upper hand. One of the key turning points was the Battle of Pharsalus in 197 BCE, where the Roman consul Titus Quinctius Flamininus demonstrated tactical brilliance by outmaneuvering the Macedonians and securing a decisive victory. The Roman triumph was not solely due to military prowess. Rome also utilized diplomacy to its advantage. By forging alliances with various Greek city-states, such as the Aetolian League, Rome undermined Philip V's support and weakened his position. This diplomatic maneuvering further contributed to Rome's ultimate success in the war. The victory in the First Macedonian War had far-reaching consequences for Rome's path to dominance over Greece. It established Rome as a major player in Greek affairs and solidified its reputation as a military power. The war's outcome laid the foundation for subsequent conflicts and set the stage for Rome's expanding influence in the region. Rome's victory in the First Macedonian War enabled them to gain territorial concessions from Philip V. The Treaty of Phenice in 205 BCE forced Philip V to withdraw from certain territories in Greece, limiting his influence and extending Rome's control. The war demonstrated Rome's ability to project its power beyond the Italian peninsula. It showcased the military effectiveness of Rome's legions and their adaptability in countering the renowned Macedonian phalanx. This victory further boosted Rome's confidence and encouraged them to pursue future conquests. The First Macedonian War was a critical stepping stone in Rome's journey to dominance over Greece. Rome emerged victorious through effective military tactics, diplomacy, and sheer determination. The Second Macedonian War, 200 to 196 BCE. The Second Macedonian War arose from Rome's growing concern over the expansionist policies of Philip V, king of Macedon. Rome sought to curb Philip's territorial ambitions in Greece and protect its regional interests. Additionally, Rome aimed to establish itself as the dominant power in the Eastern Mediterranean, further solidifying its position as a global superpower. The war began in 200 BCE when Philip V, taking advantage of Rome's preoccupation with other conflicts, expanded his influence and encroached upon the Greek city-states. Rome saw this as a direct threat to its regional dominance and decided to intervene. The Roman Senate declared war on Macedon, initiating a series of military engagements that would shape the fate of Greece. The Second Macedonian War witnessed a shift in military tactics and strategies employed by both sides. Rome continued to rely on its well-disciplined legions and the manipular formation, which had proven successful in previous conflicts. The manipular formation gave Rome flexibility and adaptability on the battlefield, enabling them to counter the formidable Macedonian phalanx. On the other hand, Philip V adopted defensive strategies, utilizing the natural terrain and fortified positions to his advantage. He focused on guerrilla warfare, hoping to wear down the Roman forces and avoid direct confrontations whenever possible. However, these tactics were unable to stem the tide of Roman expansion. The Greek city-states, caught in the crossfire between Rome and Macedon, suffered widespread devastation. The conflict led to a decline in economic prosperity, loss of lives, and political instability throughout the region. The city of Corinth, once a flourishing center of commerce and culture, was particularly hard hit during the war. The war also exposed the Greek city-states' vulnerability and inability to unite against external threats. Divisions and rivalries among the Greek factions played into Rome's hands as they exploited these weaknesses to expand their influence and control. The Second Macedonian War had far-reaching impacts on the balance of power in the eastern Mediterranean and Rome's pursuit of dominance over Greece. The war resulted in the Treaty of Tempe in 197 BCE, which forced Philip V to cede territories, pay reparations, and limit Macedonian influence. This war demonstrated Rome's military superiority and further solidified its control over Greece. It allowed Rome to establish itself as the dominant power in the region, effectively reducing the independence of Greek city-states. The conquest of Macedon and the subsequent imposition of Roman influence brought political stability and centralized governance to Greece under the Roman administration. Additionally, the war had profound cultural and social consequences. Greek intellectuals, artists, and scholars became drawn to Rome, seeking patronage and opportunities for expression. This cultural exchange led to a fusion of Greek and Roman traditions, creating a vibrant cultural landscape that left an indelible mark on the development of Western civilization. The war also signaled a shift in Rome's foreign policy. It demonstrated Rome's growing ambition to expand its territorial control beyond Italy and solidify its position as a global superpower. The victory in the Second Macedonian War propelled Rome toward future conquests and marked the beginning of a new phase in its imperial expansion. The domination of Greece provided Rome with invaluable resources, both in terms of wealth and intellectual prowess. The vast reserves of gold, silver, and other valuable commodities extracted from the conquered territories in Greece strengthened Rome's economy. They fueled its ambitious projects, such as the construction of grand public buildings and the support of lavish displays of wealth and power. Also, the subjugation of Greece solidified Rome's control over key trade routes and important ports in the eastern Mediterranean. This control over maritime commerce enhanced Rome's economic dominance and furthered its expansion into other regions. The Acheian War, 146 BCE. The Acheian War, which took place in 146 BCE, was a pivotal conflict that represented the final blow to Greek independence and solidified Rome's dominance over Greece. This war arose from the growing tensions between Rome and the Acheian League, a confederation of Greek city-states seeking to regain their autonomy and challenge Roman control. Led by their general Critolaus, the Acheian League revolted against Rome, viewing the ongoing conflict between Rome and Carthage as an opportune moment to break free from Roman authority. The roots of the Acheian War can be traced back to the increasing Roman influence and intervention in Greek affairs. Despite maintaining a degree of autonomy, the Greek city-states were subjected to Rome's oversight, which often led to interference in their internal affairs. The Acheian League, composed of city-states in the Peloponnese, harbored a deep-seated desire to restore Greek sovereignty and saw Rome's engagement in the Second Punic War as an opportunity to challenge Rome's control. The outbreak of the war occurred when the Acheian League, led by Critolaus, declared its independence and sought to break away from Roman dominance. This act of defiance against the mighty Roman Republic was a bold move. Still, the Acheian League believed that Rome's attention and resources were largely occupied by the ongoing conflict with Carthage, providing a window of opportunity for Greek liberation. However, Rome quickly responded to the Acheian League's revolt. Lucius Mummius, a seasoned Roman consul, was tasked with suppressing the rebellion and reasserting Rome's authority over Greece. Mummius assembled a formidable army and set sail for Greece, determined to crush the Achaean League and end the Greek resistance. From a military perspective, Rome held a significant advantage over the Achaean League. The Roman legions were renowned for their discipline, training, and superior organization. They employed various military tactics, including siege warfare, which they had perfected through years of conquest and expansion. Mummius recognized the importance of swiftly neutralizing the Achaean League's key strategic points and strongholds. With their siege engines and military expertise, the Roman legions laid siege to major cities such as Corinth and Athens. The city of Corinth, a flourishing center of commerce and culture, faced the full force of Roman military might. The Romans launched a devastating assault, storming the city and sacking it. The magnificent buildings, temples, and public structures of Corinth were reduced to ruins, symbolizing the end of an era for Greek civilization. The destruction of Corinth sent shockwaves throughout Greece as other city-states witnessed the brutality of Roman power. The losses suffered by Greece during the Acheian War were significant. The conflict resulted in a substantial loss of life, with thousands of Greeks perishing in the violence and chaos of war. The devastation extended beyond human casualties, as the war inflicted immense damage on Greece's cultural and architectural heritage. The ancient city of Corinth, once a symbol of prosperity and grandeur, lay in ruins, its former glory obliterated by the Roman conquest. The impact of the Acheian War was far-reaching and multifaceted. It represented the final blow to Greek independence and marked the end of an era for Greek civilization. The defeat of the Achaean League solidified Rome's dominance over Greece, establishing it as the preeminent power in the Eastern Mediterranean. The war had profound consequences for the political and cultural landscape of Greece. Greek governance and political structures were dismantled, and the region was under direct Roman administration. The Acheian War resulted in the physical devastation of cities like Corinth and marked a shift in cultural influences. With Roman rule firmly established, Greek traditions and cultural practices assimilated into the Roman framework. The Romans recognized the intellectual and artistic achievements of the Greeks and sought to preserve and incorporate them into their civilization. This cultural exchange between Greece and Rome profoundly impacted the development of Western civilization. Greek philosophy, particularly the schools of Stoicism and Epicureanism, influenced Roman thinking and ethics. Concepts such as the pursuit of a virtuous life, the importance of reason and logic, and the examination of personal morality found their way into the fabric of Roman society. Greek mythology and religious practices also influenced Roman beliefs, with many Greek deities seamlessly transitioning into the Roman pantheon. From a political perspective, the Acheian War was critical in consolidating Roman power. The defeat of the Achaean League sent a clear message to other regions and potential adversaries, solidifying Rome's reputation as a formidable force. The swift and decisive victory showcased Rome's unwavering determination to enforce its authority and maintain control over its territories. The war was crucial in Rome's domination of Greece and its broader imperial ambitions. The conquest of Greece added significant territories and resources to the expanding Roman Empire. It provided access to strategic trade routes, increased Roman influence in the Eastern Mediterranean, and secured vital resources for the growing empire. The subjugation of Greece also demonstrated Rome's military might and laid the foundation for its future conquests in other parts of the world. Romanization and cultural assimilation. The process of Romanization and cultural assimilation in Greece was a complex phenomenon that had far-reaching implications for both Roman and Greek society. While Rome sought to impose its language, culture, and political systems on the Greek population, it also recognized the richness and value of Greek civilization. This led to a unique fusion of Greek and Roman traditions, ultimately shaping the development of Western civilization. One of the key aspects of Romanization was the imposition of the Latin language. Latin gradually became the language of administration, education, and official communication in Greece. While Greek continued to be spoken by the majority of the population, the knowledge of Latin became essential for engaging with the Roman administration and participating in the broader Roman world. This linguistic shift profoundly impacted Greek society, as it opened up opportunities for cultural exchange and facilitated greater integration within the Roman Empire. The assimilation of Greek culture into the Roman framework was a remarkable process that allowed for preserving and continuing Greek intellectual and artistic achievements. Greek scholars, artists, and architects found new patrons and opportunities in Rome, contributing to the flourishing of Greek traditions. Greek philosophy, literature, and art thrived within the cosmopolitan centers of the Roman Empire, with Athens becoming a hub of intellectual activity. Roman elites embraced Greek philosophical schools, such as Stoicism and Epicureanism, which influenced their thinking and ethical frameworks. Greek intellectuals played a crucial role in shaping Roman intellectual discourse and the development of Roman literature. Religious assimilation was another significant aspect of the Romanization process. The Romans recognized the similarities between their pantheon of gods and the Greek pantheon, leading to the identification and syncretism of Greek and Roman deities. Greek gods and goddesses seamlessly transitioned into the Roman religious system, often assuming Roman names and roles. For example, Zeus became Jupiter, Aphrodite became Venus, and so on. This integration of Greek and Roman religious practices created a rich tapestry of divine figures and mythological narratives that united the two cultures. Architecturally, Greek influence left an indelible mark on Roman buildings and urban landscapes. Roman architects sought to emulate the grace and beauty of Greek aesthetics, incorporating elements such as elegant columns, majestic facades, and intricate sculptures. The Greco-Roman architectural style became emblematic of Roman grandeur, and Greek architectural principles guided the construction of monumental structures throughout the Roman Empire. This fusion of architectural styles shaped the physical landscape and symbolized the blending of Greek and Roman cultural identities. However, the process of cultural assimilation had its complexities and tensions. While Rome admired and borrowed from Greek culture, it also sought to assert its dominance and superiority. A subtle shift in power dynamics accompanied the assimilation of Greek traditions into the Roman framework. Rome assumed the role of custodian and patron, shaping the trajectory of Greek cultural expression. Greek cultural forms were now subject to Roman influence and control, allowing Rome to project its authority and leave a lasting impact on the cultural landscape of Greece. The Romanization of Greece also had profound political implications. As Greek city-states lost their autonomy and became Roman provinces, they were integrated into the Roman administrative system. Local governance was replaced by Roman officials and governors, who ensured the implementation of Roman law and governance. While retaining certain local customs and traditions, the Greek population became subject to Roman rule and taxation. This centralization of power under Rome's authority facilitated greater efficiency and control over the region. The Acheian War, which catalyzed Roman dominance over Greece, played a crucial role in Romanization. The defeat of the Acheian League crushed Greek resistance and paved the way for implementing Roman policies and institutions. The impacts of the Acheian War were devastating for Greece. The war resulted in significant loss of life, with thousands of Greeks perishing in the violence and chaos of the conflict. Major cities, including Corinth, suffered immense destruction as they fell under Roman control. Greece's architectural splendor and cultural heritage were ravaged, leaving a lasting scar on the landscape. But the process of Romanization and cultural assimilation was not entirely one-sided. While Rome imposed its language, governance, and cultural norms, it also absorbed and assimilated elements of Greek culture. The Romans recognized the intellectual and artistic achievements of the Greeks and sought to integrate them into their civilization. This reciprocal exchange of ideas and cultural practices contributed to the rich tapestry of Greco-Roman culture that emerged during this period. The rise of Rome and its dominance over Greece is a remarkable saga that reflects the complexities of power, military might, and cultural assimilation. Rome's gradual conquest of Greece was not merely a tale of brute force, but a demonstration of strategic prowess and political acumen. Through key events such as the Macedonian Wars and the Acheian War, Rome established its authority, expanded its territories, and solidified its control over the Greek city-states. The once proud Greeks who had ushered in an era of enlightenment and profound intellectual achievements found themselves subject to the rule of a foreign power. Yet their culture continued to shape and influence Rome, leaving an indelible mark on the Western world. The legacy of Rome's dominance over Greece is a testament to the enduring. Our channel, The History of the Ancient World, will be releasing more videos about historical facts, so make sure you are subscribed and hit the notification bell. If you enjoy our content, please consider liking, commenting, and sharing our videos. We appreciate our patrons for making our videos possible, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.